Kansas or Tennessee?
This year, I was blessed to shoot another really nice Kentucky whitetail with my bow. It was another early season hunt, and this adventure epitomized some of my most important, most depended on big buck hunting tactics.
All right, I am back at it. I have not hunted in about 5 days. It's Friday afternoon, September the 13th, I think. And the last hunt I went on, I was in here after the kicker ate. This is what I call the Central Farm. I have not killed a deer on the Central Farm since 2014. That said, I've got a big deer on camera, and there's nobody else that's really going after him right now. So this is going to be a just off wind direction. It's going to be close. I'm hoping I can get in cleanly without spooking deer. I'm also hoping that I can stay spook free once I'm in the tree.
The hunt for this deer was really a great example of how important just off wind directions are when hunting mature whitetails. Oftentimes, big deer will not move in daylight, at least as far or in certain directions, if they aren't confident that it's safe. One of the ways that they accomplish this is by having the wind in their favor, using it to their advantage to give them a little more boost of confidence to move in a certain direction or further in a certain direction during daytime. This buck that I shot this season, the Kicker 8, did just that. He was bedding to my southwest, I believe. Best I can tell, he was to my south or southwest. And that day I had an east wind. It was kind of northeast to east, but mostly east. And so that was the only wind direction that I could get in there and actually get in cleanly without spooking him, but also giving him enough of an advantage for him to be comfortable moving in daylight.
So this buck is either bedded due south of me or he's bedded to the southwest. I've got an east wind. He's circling around, coming through here, hitting this clearing, and then going on to ag fields.
Whenever I reflected on my historical trail camera photo documents and notes that I had for this deer, I realized in that particular location, he almost always moved with a north to an east wind. He never come in there with westerly and southerly winds. And the reason being is because he did not have the wind in his advantage for him to pass through where that particular stand location is. But with a north or an east, he did.
The good news is he was in here yesterday in daylight, right at sunset. So that's positive. Anyway, I'm looking forward to the rest of this sit. Feels good. Feels right. And it feels like I just might see this big old buck.
So the day that I finally caught up with this deer, which was only the third sit of the season and the second sit for this deer, he come right down the hill, had the wind quartering into him as he come most of the way, and then fish hooked in toward my position with the wind straight in his nose. But because I was hunting a just off wind, my tree stand location was off just enough that I had about 20 to 30 yards of separation between my scent cone and his line of travel. But because he had that wind in his face and he was confident, he come right on out of there, gave me a 25-yard chip shot, and that was that.
What's up?
Dude, are you for real?
I swear. Do what? You see my lighted? Yeah, see my lighted knock down there?
You gotta be kidding me.
I don't know if you can see it or not.
I can see it.
Yeah, there it is. There it is. Right there. And he died right up there.
You gotta be kidding me.
Yeah. Now, I was on my own for this hunt because I self-film, but my dad arrived and helped me to recover the deer, and it was just a great moment for all of us. Another deer that we shared the memory of and the hunt for, and what made it even better is this was on some family ground, a property that I have not shot a buck on in 10 years. But it was just one of those things where I'd never harvested a buck there with my bow, and it gave me the opportunity to do that. So give the deer about an hour. I'm pretty sure I heard him crash because I was able to get the camera back on him, and I think I saw him fall. But I wanted to give him an hour just to be sure. The temperatures are cooling down real nice, and I'm pretty sure it was a good shot, and he fell pretty quick. So I don't think we're gonna have much trouble finding him. But we're gonna ease up in here. My dad, Marty, he come over to help me recover the deer, and he's running the camera now. So we're gonna ease in here and hopefully find this deer not too far up the hill. All right, so in the video you could see he turned to the right and cut right off of this trail, this lane, and he turned and went right in here. And I'm pretty sure I heard him fall about as soon as he made it in. Oh, yeah, right here he is, right in the edge of it. That's where he crashed. Oh, he didn't go nowhere. As I look back on this hunt, and I think about all the things that aligned to make it possible, you know, it really come down to that just off wind. Sometimes people call these fringe winds, but it's the same thing, same concept. And when you're looking at your setup, study hunt zone to determine what your wind directions are going to be at the time you get there and throughout the hunt, because those can change. Using hunt zone helps you better visualize your scent cone than merely just checking for a wind direction on some weather app. He didn't go very far at all. He ran about 60, 70 yards and tipped over. He was down in about 10 seconds. He crashed when I thought he crashed, right where I was expecting him to be whenever we started looking for him. But man, he's a cool deer. This is a buck that I have at least 2 years of history with, maybe 3. I've got to go back and look through my trail camera photos. I think I had pictures of him the last 3 years, maybe the past 2. But this year is a 4.5-year-old deer. You know, that's typically what we're trying to get on camera and harvest here, you know, 4.5 and older, you know, and that's what this is. Just a really cool buck, a mainframe 8. He's got this really cool kicker point coming back off this back tine here. And then what I really like about him is these unique brows. They sit really high up on the beams. Most deer, their brow tines start somewhere down in here, but his are way up here, up on top. And that's how he's been the past couple of years. That's just his genetic brow tine base. I've been super blessed for that he's given me permission to hunt for a long time, since I was a kid. And I've already taken a couple of nice bucks there. I think it was back in 2013 and 2014, and then again this year. So it's been a long time since I harvested a deer there, but I've always wanted to tag a deer there with my bow, and I was finally able to make that happen. All things said, just get out there and hunt. Get out there and enjoy the outdoors. Whatever the circumstances are, whatever access you have, just get out there and be grateful for it and enjoy it, and let HuntStand help you along the way.